Hi everyone, Alex Savoie for Discovery of Wine. Tonight I have some good news. I've just been accepted to the ITHQ, which is a college here in Montreal who teaches class about restaurant management and so on, but also about enology. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to give me a lot of insight into the industry, and it's going to give me the ability to give you maybe more in-depth information, as well as more accurate tasting notes and so on and so on. So I'm going to try and still give you my opinion. I'm not going to repeat what they tell me there, but I think it will help everybody benefit from the wealth of knowledge that I'll be exposed to over there. So as sort of a celebration tonight, I opened a nice bottle. I taped the French episode 2 hours ago. I had just corked the wine, so this has been sitting out for 2 hours. So sort of a special bottle that I've been saving up. This is still young, but let's hit it now. It's the Inspiracion Valdemar Graciano 2005 from the Rioja region. So, as some of you might know, Spain, especially Rioja, is a wine region in the world that's very special to me. That's how I discovered red wine and how I really got into it. And so, with this bottle here, you might have tasted the Conde Valdemar or the Conde Valdemar Reserva 2005. Which is available at the ITHQ for about $20 or $22. It was at the ITHQ depot not that long ago, so maybe you got it for a bit cheaper than that with the rebate. But anyways, that's a very good wine. So I learned about that the Bodega Valdemar from that wine because I like it, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something special. This is a special bottling that they do. And it's only Graciano, which is a grape that's usually blended in Spain, but it is an indigenous grape in Spain, so it does grow a bit everywhere. But usually it is blended with like maybe 5 or 10% into other varietals, and so it's very rare to get 100% Graciano, which this is. So I'm excited. It's not something where I'm used to tasting, and this is like a $60 bottle, so. I don't open that every night, so I'm very happy about it. Maybe tell you a little bit about Rioja if you don't know about it. It's the premium region for wine in Spain. It's the old school region. You see a lot of Priorat, a lot of Ribera del Duero nowadays, which have been emergent for maybe 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even more. Maybe I'm too young to know more than that. But anyways, Rioja is the classic region. Usually they use Tempranillo, Garnacha, which is Grenache, as well as other varietals, Graciano being one of them. Anyways, so let me taste this wine. When I tasted it earlier, the nose was astonishing. And I don't say that very often, but the nose was spectacular. Sorry, didn't want to make a mess there. But the mouth was good, but I felt it wasn't open yet. So let's see if things have changed since the other episode 2 hours ago. First of all, the color, and I only have a tiny bit of wine here, but it's really dark. This is like a purple, this is like a purple color, so almost black. And the nose, I can smell it all the way here without even putting my nose in the glass right now. Wow, this is very inviting. When I smelled it earlier, it was a lot more earthy, a lot more leathery. It had some, I would say, classic Spanish smells that came out of it. And if there's one region I know a little bit more about, it's Rioja, Spain. And I tend to think they always usually have a very similar nose, and it was the case. But now it's evolved it's evolved quite a bit actually. It's almost a little bit floral, a lot fruitier than it was earlier. I'd say blueberries, raspberries maybe. a lot more silky than it was earlier. It seemed like a tough wine earlier. I really liked the smell, but it seemed tough. Now it seems like it's mellowed out quite a bit. Let's taste it. So the tannins have calmed down. I almost don't feel them. The acidity has come through, which earlier I could pick it up a little bit, but now it's quite there, which I personally like. There's a sort of a minerality. It's a red wine. It's how much? It's 14%, which is pretty high in alcohol, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's got this freshness that's almost, I would say, almost unusual with red wine, especially one of this alcohol content. So the fruit is more present than when I opened it. The acidity as well. Tannins have softened a little bit. This is just a small, how could I say, it's got just a little bit of strawberry, but it lingers forever. Like this finish is so when I took my second sip, I could still feel the wine in the back of my throat from the first sip, so finish is quite long. This is a very nice wine. I'm not gonna recommend you go out there and buy one right now because it's $60 and I think there's only one left at the ITHQ, but basically the purpose of tasting this was, well, I wanted to please myself, and second of all, to show you, try something else. I've never had 100% Graciano wine. I just had one right now. Bottle cost me quite a bit, but tonight was a special night for me, so I think it was worth it. And but most of all, don't trust me. Don't trust any critic. Trust yourself. If you like a wine, go for it. Don't let Parker, don't let anybody from the newspapers influence what you think, especially if you only look at the notes or at the numbers. If a wine got a 90 or a 95 from somebody, doesn't mean that you're going to like it. The important thing is that you like it, and that if you're going to read or follow a critic, listen to what they have to say or read what they actually write rather than just look at the score. That will give you a much better indication if that's your type of wine. And basically that's it. So trust your own palate. And I guess a topic for today, who's the wine critic that you follow? Is there one, two, however many there might be or not be, let me know and tell me how many, what their names are. So basically that's it. I'll see you tomorrow with another episode. Have a good night.